right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Mason County regular business meeting of the Commission for February 6th. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Lisa Frazier, would you please do us the honor?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Terry Drexler.
Here.
Excellent. Item number 4 is correspondence and organizational business. Do we have any correspondence to come before this commission?
Yes. So John and Marilyn Pinkley sent in a letter regarding parcel 22212-56-00032 located at 18331 State Route 106 in Belfair. Ken Van Buskirk sent a letter regarding comments made at the Planning Advisory Commission meetings October 9th, October 16th, and November 20th, 2017. Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent a liquor license application for Little Creek Casino Event Center, 91 West State Route 108 in Shelton. And Mason County Fire Protection District number 12 sent in 2018 budget amendments for current expense.
Thank you. Item number 4.2 is a news release regarding park hosts that's needed. Ross McDowell is not here, but Commissioner Drexler has generously agreed to read it for us.
Park host needed for Mason County Sandhill Park. Mason County Parks Department is recruiting an on-site park host caretaker for Sandhill Park. The successful candidate must provide their own RV, and the county provides water, power, and septic at no charge. Caretakers are responsible for opening and closing the park, site security, customer service, cleaning restrooms, and light maintenance duties in return for utilities. There is no salary or pay associated with this opportunity. Mason County Parks and Trails is looking for persons who are willing to work nights, weekends, and holidays, can physically make rounds of the park, and have good communication and customer service skills, including the ability to remain calm and friendly when confronted with problems. Sandhill Park is a 7-field baseball-softball complex located just outside Belfair. Caretakers need to be present in the evenings, Monday through Friday, and all day on weekends during baseball and softball season. Please apply by completing a park host application located on the Mason County web page at www.co.mason.wa.us/forms/parks/index.php, or contact Ann Voice at 360-427-9670, extension 535, with any questions.
Thank you, Commissioner. Is there any other correspondence or organizational business to come before us today? Okay, hearing none, we'll move into item number 5, which is our open forum for citizens' input. This is your opportunity to come and speak to the Commission on any issue that is not in the agenda. If it is not on the agenda, you're welcome to come and speak to us, and you'll be given up to 5 minutes per person, but there's only a 15-minute time limit. So we ask that you please respect that, and keep in mind there may be others. So with that being said, is there anybody who would like to speak on an issue not on the agenda? Conley.
Conley Watson, 140 East Fox Lane out on Hartstein Island. I did happen to go to a sheriff's meeting a week ago Thursday, and he commented that there are 94 beds available in the jail at this time. Now there will be one extra that will be according to the journal, if the person is getting out of jail that shot the man through the shower curtain. And I just wondered, I know Kevin has been there with me. Have you, the other two, been to the jail?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah, actually we're together, so yes.
Oh, okay.
Before and after the remodel. Many times.
But they're down to 94 beds available. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anybody else who would like to speak on an issue that is not on the agenda? Please.
Good morning, Commissioners Netherland, Drexler, and Schutte. I'm here today to announce the beginning of tax season and also to announce the opening of Tax Aid, sponsored by AARP. We will do your taxes for free. We'll be at the Shelton Library every Saturday starting February 3rd, so last Saturday was the first day, from 10 to 3. We'll be at the Belfair Library every Tuesday starting February 6th, so I guess that's today. Yeah, wow. From 10:30 till 3. And at the Shelton Senior Center Wednesday starting February 7th, tomorrow, by appointment only, and they're all running through April 15th. I'm also here today to announce the League of Women Voters meeting next Tuesday from 12 to 1:30 at Olympic College's Johnson Library. We'll have Frank Pinter as a guest, and he'll be talking about budget and process. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheryl, just when are taxes due this year?
April 17th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get 2 extra days. So.
Cheryl, thank you for helping with, or being volunteering to help people with their taxes. It's very generous of you.
Is there anybody else who would like to speak to the commission? Please, Amy, come on forward.
It is Girl Scout cookie season, so we've got Girl Scout cookies, but today we've also got Operation Cookie Drop, which is you buy the box of cookies for $5 and it is sent to soldiers overseas. And so if you want to buy cookies but you don't want to have to eat said cookies, then you can donate a box to soldiers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I don't know if you folks all know, but she's been doing this now for several years, and it's become a custom of ours to try and help out. This idea that she comes before us and she helps to make sure that our people that are serving our country overseas has an opportunity to get them is a wonderful thing. I myself, every year, I kick in, I'm going to ask you before you leave today to please reach into your pocket and make an action happen for this young lady. First of all, imagine how brave she is that she does this. But second of all, you get to eat them if you want. But if not, what a wonderful thing to do. So please put me down for some. We'll talk afterwards. Please reach in your pockets. It is so wonderful that she does this. We want to definitely support her and the strength that it takes to get before all of you and the cameras and do this each year. Thank you, A.B. You're awesome. Is there anybody else who would like to speak on any issue that is not on the agenda? Hearing none, then we'll move forward to item number 6, which is the adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move the adoption of today's agenda as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded for the adoption of today's agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It carries. Item number 7, approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move the approval of the December 4th, 2017, January 22nd, and January 29th briefing minutes as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for the approval of the December 4th, 2017, January 22nd, and the January 29th, 2018 briefing minutes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Item number 8 is our action agenda. The approval of action agenda, we will take the time and read each and every item that's on the agenda. After we do, you'll be given an opportunity to ask a question to help you decide whether you want it taken off for a separate vote, or you can ask that it be taken off for a separate vote. But first, we will go ahead and we will read each one to you and then give you that opportunity. With that being said, Commissioner Drexler, will you read item number 8.1 through 8.4? I will read 8.5 through 8.9, and Commissioner Schutte, if you'd read 8.10 through 8.14.
Item 8.1, approval of warrants and treasurer electronic remittances. Claims Clearing Fund warrants numbers 80544142 through 805368 totaling $781,145.55. Direct Deposit Fund warrants 47176 through 47543 totaling $690,962.80, and the Salary Clearing Fund warrant 7003370 through 7003398 totaling $487,493.42 for a grand total of $1,959,601.77. Item 8.2, approval to authorize Public Works to execute an agreement with South Sound Steel and Recycling to provide scrap metal and refrigerator collection services, paying the county percentage of the revenues received from the material collected. 8.3, approval to award the contract for the Eels Hill Improvement Project to McClure and Sons Incorporated in the amount of $515,887.12, and approval to authorize the Deputy Director of Public Works, Utility and Waste Management to sign the contract. The Eels Hill is our transfer station. Item 8.4, approval to authorize the chair to execute the road levy certification for 2018.
Item number 8.5, approval to authorize the chair to execute supplemental number 2 to the agreement with SCJ Alliance, increasing the maximum payable amount to $304,637.30, and extend the contract completion date to December 31st, 2018. Item number 8.6, approval to authorize Public Works to use the county's MRSC consultant roster to select a consultant for surveying services as part of the subdivision of parcel number 42002-10-0020, and approval to have the board execute the consultant agreement once a consultant is selected. Item number 8.7, approval to have the chair approve the deposit rates on the 2018 field rental rate schedule continued from the January 16, 2018 meeting. Item number 8.8, approval to sign the acknowledgement of receipt of 2017 refund report from the Mason County Treasurer. Item number 8.9, approval to cancel the uncollectible personal property taxes.
Item 8.10, approval to amend Resolution 19-17, Mason County Personnel Policy, Chapter 7.2, Sick Leave Policy, and Chapter 13.25, Vehicle Use Safety. 8.11, approval to amend Resolution 20-97 and County Code 2.124, Mason County Safety and Accident Prevention Program. Item 8.12, approval to amend Ordinance 127-03, Mason County Policy and Procedure for Defense and Indemnity of Employees. Item 8.13, approval to appoint Sandy Tarswell to the Mason Transit Authority Board. And item 8.14, approval of the Memorandum of Understanding between Mason County Assessor's Office, AFSCME Local 1504 of the WSCCCE, and Teamsters Union Local Number 252 to resolve any and all grievances of salary, duties, and transfer the personal property duties from the Teamsters Appraisers Unit Collective Bargaining Agreement to the AFSCME Assessor's Office Clerical Unit Collective Bargaining Agreement.
Now that that has been read to you, this will give you an opportunity, if you have any questions, that may help you to decide whether you want to take it off for a separate vote. Are there any questions in the audience? Yes?
Do we have details of 8.7, what those figures are?
I guess not in here. The deposit.
On the deposit, is what you're requesting. So there's a two-tiered. It's a couple days ago that we briefed this. So should I go get Frank?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, go ahead.
If you have had no problems with your payments and stuff like that and your schedules, there's two tiers. Tier 2 is prior payment delinquencies is 50% deposit at the time of booking for all scheduled dates. Deposit refund and cancel within 3 months of play is 100%. 50% if it is 30 to 15 days or 1 to 3 months. 30 to 15 days is 10%. 5% for 14 to 2 days of play and 24 hours is 0. Tier 1 for no or one prior payment delinquency, so if you guys didn't pay, which you always have, for local league play, a $375 deposit due upon acceptance of schedule, even for multiple day reservations, so it's down to the littler amount. Originally, folks may not know that we were requesting a 50% deposit, but it wasn't doable for the leagues to be able to afford to be able to pay this. And this is a rolling deposit, basically. So as long as you guys continue to pay pay, there shouldn't be a problem. But it goes on further. It says for tournament play, payments of $978 deposit for 1 day, or $1,956 for 2 days upon acceptance of a schedule, even for multiple day reservations. For tournament play, payment of $978 for 1 day and 19. So that says again, is due on Friday prior to the tournament play. The deposit will be rolled forward to the next scheduled tournament date. And then there's the cleanup fees, which are the same as they were before. With that being read, is there anybody else has any questions? Are there any items you want taken off for a separate vote? Hearing none, then I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of today's action agenda items 8.1 through 8.14 as presented.
And I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded for the approval of the action agenda as presented, 8.1 through 8.14. Any further discussion?
I'd like to point out a couple items. Again, when we put these on the action agenda, it indicates a lot of work, and I just wanted to help clarify or at least explain some of the items that are on here. 8.5 is a effort to look at ways that we can help connect some potential connector roles, specifically Razor Road, to the Belfair bypass when it's completed, and or complete that road as a full road, as an alternate route because of our failures we've been experiencing on Trails Road. So this is really important feasibility work regarding better access in and out of that Razor Road area and the Trails area, and it's very much due, and thank you very much for bringing this forward. And then item 8.6 is an effort by the county to put some land that we have surplused, or we don't have a need for, to get it surplus and to put it onto the market. And the location of that property is on Highway 101, Dayton Airport Road, corner of that road, and that's a very key area for some potential tourism development opportunities, such as a hotel, etc. So I think this is a very positive thing for our economy here in Mason County. And I thank the Public Works Department for putting this on the fast track to get that lands available for private investment. And I could talk about a lot more of them, but those two I wanted to point out.
Thank you. I want to give a thank you to our youth sports. You were right when you came in and you had concerns with the way it was originally set up. I'm glad that you came forward and you worked with our staff in order to make sure that you guys can continue to afford to use those fields and keep those deposits in a manner that wouldn't bankrupt you. I hope everybody worked well with you, because I know that they were sure trying hard to make sure that it was changed into a manner where your organization will not have any hardship over it. And it was a lot harder than this, folks, but so thank you for coming and working together collaborative with our staff. With that being said, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. We have any department heads or elected officials who would like to speak at this time? Hearing none, we have no public hearings. Let's go ahead and move on to board reports and calendars. Before I do, A.B., what is the name of that program again?
Operation Cookie Drop.
Operation Cookie Drop. So please think about it. Grab your pocketbooks, grab your wallets. Before she gets out that door, please help them. And anybody at home, if they want to call the county, if they ask for me, I will get them a phone number of how they can get a hold of her to order those cookies, and we can get those to our servicemen and women overseas. So if you don't mind, I will go ahead and go first. Commissioner Schutte, if you go second, and Commissioner Drexler. So I had just a few of the things that we did, because we had a couple of weeks in between our regular meetings, but we had law library. I actually attended a hearing examiner meeting. I had the interviews for the EDC director positions. We had briefings. I met with a constituent who's here today. I figured we're going to want to talk to one of us afterwards, or in regards to some issues that he brought forward to this commission a couple of weeks ago. Let's see, I had a stakeholder meeting for the opioid issues that we have. We had our special meeting of the county commission. We had our Belfair meeting, which is not an official meeting, but it was a wonderful meeting, well attended. There was, what would you say, 20-something people there?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, well attended, well done up there. I've been meeting with many of the candidates that are either considering running for office or already running for the positions that the city have. We have our audit committee meeting. Been meeting with different people in regards to construction. Briefings, elected official and directors meeting we just had. We attended a phone banking for the Mason County Cooperative High School, and I had my left board meeting this morning. After this, we will be having more conversations with some of our constituents and such. We have the EDC meet and greet is tonight as well. I have a meeting of the ARC and regular EDC meeting. We have our briefing meetings, and I have one I can't read, but good enough for now. Go ahead.
Yeah, just a few items from the past couple of weeks. I've been going around and meeting with a lot of our service providers in the community, and that's a thanks in large part to Todd Parker from over in Public Health, helping make some of those arrangements, and so appreciate his help on that. Last week, had meetings with Northwest Resources, Community Action Council, Community Lifeline, Turning Point, and Exceptional Foresters, and I have several more of these coming up in the next couple of weeks as well, and it's just it's good to get out and see the services that are available for folks in our community who are struggling with mental illness or substance abuse, and really get an idea of where our strengths are, and then also trying to find those soft spots, those gaps where we can try to help to fill some of those in and improve service delivery for people in the community. Also had a great meeting with Al Bourne, who's doing the feasibility study for the South Sound YMCA. Had a great conversation with him about the opportunity to bring the Y here to Shelton. We also did talk about how it could be an opening to have some future Y projects so that the county is a little bit more connected, north and south. So really positive things moving forward there with the YMCA. Very grateful for the work of their group putting that together. Also had a great tour and meeting of the Shelton Library. They had a couple of weeks ago, I had mobile office hours up at the Hoodsport Library, and they said, hey, you got to go down to the Shelton Library. They're having some facility issues, and it would be great to have you take a look at those. And I said, sure. So I went down and met with Donna Federer, the manager there, and she showed me some of those issues. It is a city-owned building, and I'm happy to say that the city is going to pursue legislative funding through the capital budget to make some of those improvements there so that more people can continue to access the library and benefit from all of the services that they have. I think when I was growing up, at least, you kind of always thought of the library as just a place to get books and videos and periodicals and that kind of thing, but it's so much more than that now. And they're doing such great things with job training and resume preparation, and really is a service hub that lends itself to our workforce development needs. And so some really great things there. So if you haven't gone to the library lately, go check it out, get a library card, and see what they have to offer. Also had a productive meeting last week with the State Association of Counties. Spent some time in Olympia, and then working with commissioners from across the state on sort of changing our tactics, if you will, for how we work with the state legislature and how we go about handling some of the unfunded mandates and issues that they continue to roll down to the county level and expect us to pay for. So some good things happening with that as well. Going forward this week, later today I'll be meeting with Patty Case over at Green Diamond, talk about some issues. Again, I know our public works staff has been working diligently with them to ensure that we have safe evacuation routes out of the Skokomish Valley, and appreciate all their work and the cooperation with Green Diamond on that. Also, later this week I'll be meeting with Steve Goins, who's one of the project managers for the Shelton Hills project. This is a project a long time in coming, and so I'm going to sit down with him and see where they're at and what we can do to kind of help move. That's a project that's located in the city, but it would benefit the entire county, I think, if we got some dirt moving there. So looking forward to that. Later this week, also meeting with Scott Brewer from the Hood Canal Coordinating Council. And then Friday, I will be in Olympia for the State Building Code Council, and then Legislative Steering Committee for the Association of Counties, and then back here for our briefings next week.
Thank you. Last week, prior to our Belfair Fifth Tuesday meeting, had all days of interviews for the Area Agency on Aging director. It's been very difficult to recruit somebody, and I just want to put a shout out. We engaged Karis Consulting to do help us with the recruitment and got a lot of quality candidates. And so it's going to be a tough choice. We're in the background checking period of this process. We had the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee meeting in which the Lodging Tax Committee welcomed 2 new members, as well as heard the rollout of the marketing plan by our new contracted tourism marketing agency, Northwest Event Organizers. And so they were able to provide some feedback on that plan. I had a Wasatch Association of Counties board meeting, and then stayed there for a roundtable in which we had a new appointment by the governor for behavioral health services, and the legislators or the county commissioners were able to share our concerns and angst, so to speak, about some change of how those behavioral health services will be delivered for Medicaid eligible individuals as of 2020. The state is asking that primary care and behavioral health care services be integrated, but what that's doing is how it's being modeled right now is it takes county out of behavioral health care services that are not crisis oriented and will be responsible for the crisis type of services. And as people were lamenting to the new policy director, when back in the early 2000s the state was in an effort to save money, we're promoting community-based behavioral health services, and then what ended up happening, and then didn't fund them, and what ended up happening is counties became responsible for trying to get the crisis services, let alone the prevention services, set up. And now it looks like with this integration, the county again will be responsible for the crisis only, and will have our hands off of being able to provide, and as we've been doing at the Behavioral Health Organization, provide a good comprehensive continuum of care so that we're not only responsible for the crisis end. Working really hard to help the governor's office understand that, the legislature understand it, and as was shared, the people in the legislature who passed the original legislation are mostly gone, and there are very few people in the legislature that are very engaged in behavioral health services. So it's going to be a hard fight, and we're going to keep going with it, but to help highlight that if counties are in charge of crisis services, they end up in our jails. That's just all there is to it. And now you've got somebody who's mentally ill in our jail. And it's just very, very problematic, and it's a tough issue. But it was a good discussion, and this policy advisor came from the county family. So she'll be able to relate that story from the county perspective. Also had a work session. The state legislature had passed authorization for a hard look at the Growth Management Act. How's it been doing after 30 years of being in implementation? And the William G. Ruckelshaus Center has been tasked with that, and we had a great work session with county commissioners from across the state talking about our experience with growth management. And besides city planners and city commissioners, we're probably the ones that know the most how this is and is not working. The Ruckelshaus Center will be in Mason County sometime through the summer, and are looking for people that are good stakeholders on the Growth Management Act. And if you would like to be part of any discussions with them and provide your input, please let me know, and I'd be happy to send on your name to the Ruckelshaus Center. We had a special commission meeting to do an emergency ordinance to help people drill wells, to enact Senate Bill 6791, which is a response to the Hearst decision. I had a meeting with one of our Board of Equalization members about some concerns she has. We had our agenda setting meeting of the Behavioral Health Organization. No, that wasn't what it was. We had a fabulous meeting with our Behavioral Health Organization, Mason County General Hospital's Emergency Department, and Telecare, who's our contractor for mobile outreach services, to help coordinate responses for crisis behavioral health services that show up at the emergency room. And I think it's many different parties who are used to not working together, trying to pull them together to create protocols. And of course, many of the agencies are looking at limiting their liability, but as the emergency room director said, there's no way you can get rid of all of your liability, and we're all going to be at risk. But it's very essential that all of us work well, because there are not psychiatric services at Mason General Hospital. They can take care of a cut, but they can't take care of your overdose. Well, they can do that, but there are a lot of issues they can't do there, and so we need a lot of that coordination. I met with a constituent about concerns about some bluff failures, and then let's see, I met with our assessor regarding some concerns they have about some of our assessment appeals, and then participated in a phone bank, and Commissioner Nedlin was there as well last night for the bond that would help create a new joint high school with Hood Canal School. Following today's meeting, I'll be meeting with our EDC director, our Public Works director, and then tomorrow I will be attending a traumatic brain injury course that is being presented here at our Public Works building to anybody in the public interested at 9 o'clock. And thank you to Judge Victoria Meadows, who brought this to Mason County, what are the impacts of traumatic brain injury long-term, going on the behavioral health issue. I'll be meeting with our judges regarding a policy that I believe the commissioners have been briefed on that we'd like to have us consider regarding how we allocate our mental health treatment tax monies for our therapeutic courts. I'm meeting also with Scott Brewer from the Hood Canal Quarrying Council, the Cascade Pacific Action Alliance Council meeting, and then a behavioral health meeting on Friday, and then back here for briefings on Monday.
And we will have a executive session shortly after this meeting for potential litigation. That
Okay.
we'll all be attending. And thank you all for coming today and being a part of the process and the solutions. We appreciate it. And if I hear no objection, we're at the end of our agenda. If no objection, we will adjourn. We are adjourned.
It's just directly